Hello. Um, here's another portrait. This one I actually started. I want to say I think February 3rd is when I started it, but I lost my Apple Pencil and I wasn't able to continue. I tried starting from ground zero, just trying to make the proportions myself, but it was not working out. So I was like, okay, you know what? As much as it hurts me to do this, fuck it. I'm going to trace the image and I'm just going to practice rendering. I don't know if that's an effective way to learn, but you could see me just trying to understand the shapes at least. Trying to get an understanding of the forms of the face. And this actually, I thought it might have been nonsense what I was doing, but it actually helped me inform a lot of the decision making when it came to shadows. And I think it's so far the best a portrait I've done ever. Some of the shadows are still wrong, but they're like there's some smaller areas that I didn't get right. And then her face also starts to, because there's no hard line that I made, her face starts to get a little wider than the actual image. I also think there's a lot I didn't get right, but what I'm learning, even like the ear, for example, I had a couple of good shapes, but I couldn't match the image. And then I realized, you know what, it's not that important. The ear is such a small, like that looks good, but then I ended up erasing it. And then I realized, you know what, no one's looking at the ear. I can leave it kind of ambiguous. It doesn't matter so much about the shapes, more so about the idea of the shapes. And you see that across this whole image. Like, I didn't draw every single line of hair, but you get the idea of the hair through simpler shapes. And same goes for the eyebrows, and same goes for the nose and the eyes, and they're not exact one-to-one, but they're the idea of the image. And I think I did a decent job capturing the essence of the reference. I still feel like there are some areas that are throwing it off a bit, like the chin is too butt looking, too high. It's almost too front facing. Like you could see too much of the bottom, whereas it should be more round. And I think it's ruining the impression of the more angled down face. And then there's another thing I don't remember. Anyways, here's the final image. I think, it's not bad. Obviously, the hair isn't perfect, but you get the idea of the hair. And what I had a really hard time with was making that shadow that goes from, this falls on the right side of her, or her left side of her shoulder, from her face. For whatever reason, I just couldn't get that to look right. And it always just looked like pencil marking. Like it didn't look like a shadow. And you can see how in the reference image it's so sharp from her chin to the shadow. And I couldn't make it look like that. But yeah, that's that. I'm honestly really happy with this one. It took me, I want to say, a good 3 to 4 days of work. Inconsistent work, obviously. But yeah, this is a fun one. Did I learn how to shade better? I don't know. I don't know if this is necessarily effective practice for understanding the anatomy of the face, but it was definitely, I don't know, it was fun.